relationship with the church in Sudan and South Sudan did not come about because of an intentional process, but rather, as often happens with God, it happened because God brought us together. In this room, on the evening of September 10th, 2001, the now Archbishop of Sudan and South Sudan, Daniel Dengul, a dear friend of Bishop Joseph served as a priest in then Bishop Daniel's Diocese of Garang. After Daniel became the Archbishop, the people of Garang and the church had the good sense to elect Joseph as their bishop. But of course, the next morning was 9/11. And one of the things that Daniel said that evening before was the question was put to him, shouldn't Muslims and Christians work together? And he said, of course. And in fact, I have good relationships with my Muslim colleagues. But you all may not know what we're up against. And of course, the next morning, it became entirely clear. And we realized that it was not that we thought that maybe we should be in relationship in an intentional way with the church in Sudan, but rather apparently God thought that by bringing us together. So this parish was instrumental in helping to build the cathedral in Garang Diocese, which Bishop Joseph operates out of to this very day. But over the years, Joseph and his wife Rhoda have become dear friends of this congregation. And it's such a gift to have you here and for us to be reminded that we're one church, that we really belong to each other through baptism, that we belong to God, and thus you and I can live as one family. And your presence just reinforces that. So let me get out of the way. Bishop Joseph, Rhoda, welcome so very, very much.
Thank you.
Whatever you want.
Thank you all, and are you hearing me?
Yes.
Closer here?
Better.
What is better? Okay. I don't want to adjust, but anyway, I'm a little shorter, so I don't want to adjust. Thank you. Okay, as always, Christian, I love, or I like to say, brothers and sisters, all of you, this morning I'm greeting you in the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ. And all of you will say, Amen. Oh, thank you. And always we say here, the Lord be with you when you are going to begin talking. Or for worship we say, the Lord be with you. And say, and also with you. And we say, let us pray, but we are not going to pray now because we are coming out from prayers. So I want to ask Reverend in order to let me know how much time I'm going to talk. Otherwise, maybe I will be talking until. So Father Mero, how much time will you give it?
Why don't you take about 20 minutes and then we'll have some questions and answers. How about that?
Great. So my talking may not go for 20 minutes, but I will listen. Thank you for the invitation to come as introduction. He did it. You know, the dream and the dream. It comes according to the situation you are living in. In America here, you may be dreaming in order to have a car. In the village, which I was living there, I may be dreaming in order to have a cow, a lot of cattle. Or the captain, he may be dreaming in order he is flying. So all the dreams are different. For me and my family, my children, Michelle and Grace, they are in Sunday school. When they were 5 years old, or before they were born, in 2019, So December 2006. Before that, I came here because they are twin. I asked Father Mary, I have a problem. My wife, she is pregnant with twins, and she is very, very, very sick. So we went down to the shepherd, I think, and he lighted the candles. And those candles, they had been there until they were born. Then, after 5 years, they told me that, let us go with you to America. I said, no, it's not the time in order to go. I promised them, so that when they became 10 years old, I would bring them, so that many friends in the Diocese of Chicago, here in the Diocese of Virginia, to come and see them. And Father Mero himself, he did not see them till they were born. He knew Rhoda, he knew me, but he did not know my children. As we are family, our relationship is going for almost 20 years now. Because it started in 1997, when Archbishop Daniel came here. He came as a priest. And then invited, including Father Mero, to come. He said, come and see, and you will know what to do. And 7 Americans, they went to run. And then they see what we need to be done. And when they came back, that is why they talk about the cathedral. We built one of the best cathedrals, had been built after the British built the cathedral also in some areas. Because by then we were having 4 dioceses in South Sudan. Now we went to 43 dioceses. So the church is growing very, 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 very fast. Maybe the church here, about 2 million or 3 million, but as Episcopalian, just Episcopalian, 5 million. So, and it's grow, and the second church is the Catholic. Therefore, today, I'm with my family. The promise I gave it to my children, it happened they are here. Maybe later on, when you are going out, some of you see them already, and some they may see them. So, coming back to the situation, general situation in South Sudan, some people still calling us Sudanese. But we say no, we are not Sudanese. We are South Sudanese. But actually, Sudanese and South Sudanese, they are one. It's a matter of power. And that power everywhere creates a lot of difficulties, even now in South Sudan. The dream, or our dream, was that in order to get our own country as South Sudan. And it happened. 2011, 9 July, we get our independence. And we were so much happy that we get that dream. But sometimes you get a dream, but how to keep that dream, it happened, is one of the difficult things. You may get a car, and then you have a license, but you don't have experience of driving. If you are not smart enough, you bought a car, and you did not went to school, driving school, you may make accident. And what happened? Your car will gone, especially if you do not do insurance. Because there are some of people, they say insurance, to consume a lot of money, but they are doing nothing. But it's very, very, very important. Therefore, for us as South Sudanese, we are happy, and within short time, that we begin fighting with one another. And what happened? The media went out and said, it's between Dinka and Nuer. Nuer is the second majority of the tribe in South Sudan. And Dinka is a larger tribe in South Sudan. But the thing is this, because the president is from Dinka and the vice president is from Nuer, that is why they say he is between Nuer and Dinka. But take from me today, the fighting is not between Nuer and Dinka. The fighting is a kind of power. One seat of president, everyone wants to sit on it. We will not accommodate people. It's a share for one person. That is why when we preach, we say each one of you have a one share in heaven. But that one share, you are fighting with who? With the devil in order to take it from you. To go to hell with him. That is why we came to the church every day, every Sunday. To worship, forgive one another, and then we will have our share not to be taken by the devil or Satan. That is what is happening in South Sudan. Is devil spirit entered the heart of people, fighting just for one share, who is going to be a president. So it is a matter of power. And then everyone want to get a group to come. But what is happening is a one party create all that problem. One party divided to 5 parties, and they are calling themselves SPLM, Sudan People Liberation Movement. And we are looking in order the name to be changed, because now we get our independence. It's not good. Because everywhere, everybody carrying gun. And the gun, when the bullet come out, it did not know the child, it did not know a woman, it did not know whoever. And then the people called the people of human rights come out to talk about human rights in South Sudan, violation of human rights and all these things. But the problem, they leave this. I know there are many politicians in this church and maybe in this forum now. But the big problem is this. The politicians at the top here, when they fight, then who is going to suffer? The normal civilian. The fighting began in Juba and it spread out all over South Sudan. Innocent people, they did not know what they are dying for, they have been dead. And up to now, there are some people that did not know why the fighting is going on. So the situation is greatly confusing. At the church, many people ask us, what is your role? And we say, our role is in order to talk with our politicians. Please don't kill your own people. All of them, if they die, who is going to remain? Who are you going to be ruled? So it matters in order to make this. We talk, but imagine we did not have a police to order him, go and arrest such and such and such and such. We do not have an army to give them order, go and take this area or that and that. Our authority or our power is a prayer. We come to church to pray for our leaders in the army, in the government, in wherever, including the local leaders of the community. And as the church, we say, okay, now the government is fighting according to that. But what about you as a normal civilian? What is your benefit from that? First, the government is not providing you the medicine. Second, is not providing you food. Third, is not providing you education. Then why are you fighting? So in order to bring peace at the church, we begin from grassroots to talk with the people. And then we say the situation in South Sudan is not going to be solved by gun, but by negotiation. And that is why South Sudanese, thank God for the president, he declared that the national dialogue, it should happen so everybody can say whatever in his mind in order to say. So the national dialogue is going on now. But what about the place when there is no road to go, when there is no flight to go, when there is no all this to go? Then how the people are going to be reached? That is the role of the church. Because the church is everywhere in South Sudan. But because of insecurity, it makes it very, 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 very difficult. And even some pastors have been killed during this war, by intention or by cross or fire. Now, that is a general situation in South Sudan. Economic became a very, very, very big problem now. But South Sudan is rich, have a lot of resources. Even it can feed all Africa. Especially for rank with the diocese I serve. There were two big towns in Sudan before our independence. One is in the Western Sudan. It's called Gaddafi, for those who know the Sudan. And the second is run in South Sudan because of sorghum, sesame, Arab gum, and sunflower. We are in business area, agriculture area. We have 1 million acres good for agriculture. But the government is focusing just for oil. And there is no guarantee for oil. Because Sudan have a hand for oil. But if the government try in order to make investment going on as the meeting that take place in order to call investment people to come to South Sudan so that they can serve in South Sudan. But later on, because of insecurity, there is a lot of discouragement for those people to come. So, your partner, diocese, which is ranked, I will tell you, is one of the areas in South Sudan is safe now. We were worried about Sudan because we are in the border between Sudan and South Sudan. The first border people come in is ranked. Many different ethnic groups, they are in rank. And we accommodate them. It's like Juba. We talk about peace. We did not do any projects or peace building, but we take opportunity. When there is a wedding, of course people gather together. And when there is a funeral, people come together. And when we have occasion at the church, the politicians come in and we talk all that. And even the government, when they have occasion, they call us as the church leaders. So it is our opportunity to talk about peace. And we say now, two enemies are surrounding us. Sudan is here, and our local enemies, which the people, the rebels, are fighting to take over the oil. And the oil is in northern Upper Nile. Most of the oil is in Upper Nile, Great Upper Nile. And Great Upper Nile is one of the richest regions in South Sudan. So, if the rebels come, they want to stop the petrol, the oil, not to be flowing to Sudan. And then the army come in order to protect them. So that is why the rank is more safe than any area in South Sudan. All our buildings, the church building, since the fighting up to now, they are still in good shape. But the rest of the country, the rest of the town or state or cities destroyed to the ground. So that is why I talk with Father Melo sometimes and the friend in the Diocese of Chicago and Virginia. I said, your prayers have been answered. We build a big cathedral We built a clinic by the Christ Church. We have 4 primary school. We have 1 seminary, and we have secondary school. All these activities, and we have agriculture field, of course, to support all this. We supposed 2 years ago to celebrate our self-reliance, and that is because of support from our friends here. But because of the fighting, it takes us back to 0. Because whenever, many different areas now, people are dying by hunger, people are dying by thirsty, no water, people did not have medicine, no good education. In one of our schools now, by the time I'm talking, they have 1,750 kids, and it's a primary. And the capacity of the school is between 400 and 600. Why that happened? Because some of the schools, they are in the war zone, and they came to rank. It's a quite of challenge. The secondary school, they give us headache because many, they want to come in, many students. Everybody want to bring his children to our school. But when we say we do not have capacity in order to take it, the fighting began. And even the curriculum of South Sudan is not clear after now. We are still using the curriculum of Sudan, Uganda, and Kenya. Why? That is because of war and fighting. Therefore, brothers and sisters, there is a lot of things to be said about South Sudan. But what I say, especially for Father Mero, when I say Father Mero, it means whole congregation, because he's a leader of this church. This church has been supporting for Bible, Dinka Bible translation, and many different areas. So we are friends. And take this from me.
Raymond? Forgive me if I sound ignorant about this. But
Okay.
if you were coming to us in the 1940s or the 1950s, based on what we're talking about, the sort of oil reserves, we could assume that it would be the British and the U.S. searching for oil across the globe. And so right now, I don't know if this is true or not, it sounds like that there might be a possibility that there's also external forces from other nations, possibly Asia, China, that are currently the ones looking for oil in the country to profit. So is there a balance of this sort of internal force in your country? And are there external things also going on that require larger diplomatic solutions?
Thank you for that. You know, now, if you go to the grassroots, talking about bring, like they say they are going to bring about 4,000, some of them they are already there, 4,000 troops from our side as a peacekeeper. But the big problem is this. The army are there, the civilians are there, and all are there. In front of UN, many people have been killed. Then what they are doing? For example, in Malakal, that is my area, in Upper Nile. We were one state, but now we're divided. In the camp, UN camp, which there is many different ethnic groups that are there, the fighting took place, and many of people that have been killed inside there, in front of UN soldiers. Then we say, then what are you doing? And the big problem now, you will not know who is a soldier and who is a civilian. Why? Because everybody come to carry gun. Then, who is going to be defended? And from who? These are political questions. So I don't want to make trouble for the mind of the church, so to be thinking about it. But for politicians or the army, When I talk with them, I talk differently because of using forces. When you use the forces in that area, it means that you are not going to fight the soldiers. You are going to kill civilians. Because some of civilians, they are carrying gun by themselves. And then when you shoot him, right away we shoot you. So whatever happened, South Sudan is not going to go back to anywhere, not to be occupied by UN or going back to Sudan. Maximum. That is what I can say. But in that, many soldiers they want to be brought in. So, and even it's a request from some of the politicians that the UN will take over South Sudan. But for me, it's not good enough to that to happen.
Is there an embassy for South Sudan here that we can?
Oh, yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
Is it one that is helpful or that we should support, and is, like, if we talk to them, is that something that they'll actually do good, or is it one that is troublesome?
Okay, the easy way is, we have embassy of America in South Sudan, and I know the ambassador.
Okay.
I met her several times, and we talk about many different plans, what to be done, but unfortunately because of all these problems are happening, some they did not happen. And even I request from her to visit Garang. And she requested from the State Department to go to Garang, but the State Department here refused that they are not going outside Juba because it's not safe. They are right, but Iran is safe. Because I cannot take somebody to that, I will be there. I afraid of my life too, I don't want to die. That is why I pray every day, God save me until my time comes, because I will do my duty. So the easy way, your senator here and the ambassador there, and with the joint leaders and all these people, I have an idea how the people of South Sudan come out from this, but I will not say it from here. I will say it to politicians. If there is some politician, I will be available, so I can talk with them. Yeah.
We have just a minute. Let me just, say that one of the great gifts of Bishop Joseph, of his many gifts, is that he really does stand fast with the people. And in the midst of war and death, and remember you have both violence, guns, but you also have famine on this side. And Raymond, you're exactly right. There are big geopolitical forces at work. There are tribal forces at work. But his rock solid understanding that you stand on Jesus Christ, and that is your only place finally to turn. It's really not that different than our culture. We just paper it over because we have so much stuff. But remember, there's a lot of violence in this culture. There's a lot of hunger in this culture, both physical and spiritual. And we, as the church, that's our job. Let me end, however, on a light note. You heard him say that the Diocese of Chicago and the Diocese of Virginia are rock solid. That would be the Washington National and the Chicago Cubs. And so, having gone to the game last night, Bishop Joseph, thank you for bringing reconciliation